Hey y'all, welcome to Fitting and Homemaking. My name is Sarah, and today we are going to be cleaning out the lint hose behind this dryer. Look at the beauty. See that S shape? That's not very good, but unfortunately we can't really do anything about that because the hole in the back of the dryer where the lint comes out and the hole in the wall that leads to the outside vent do not match up terribly well. And as you can see here, we're going to watch me struggle for a little bit to pull the dryer out. There is not much space to navigate around, so the hose is kind of going to have to always be in that shape. But that means that we need to be emptying it more regularly than we are. I would say this probably needs to go on my seasonal clean list. Now, this is something that I would normally ask my husband to do, but he and I have different levels of priorities, and sometimes it takes him quite a while to get around to it. And on this particular day, he was actually not even in town. He was in Chicago, and I was just tired of having to run the dryer for multiple cycles to get one load cleaned, like a reasonably sized load. I get if I put too much in there, it's gonna probably take 2 loads. But this is me deciding, oh yeah, I asked my husband to do this, not because the dryer is heavy, because I picked up the dryer earlier. I was like, oh, that's not that heavy. I can do that myself. I'm not gonna wait. It's because the space is so small that I either have to take the door off the track, which I'm looking and I'm seeing, these doors are such a bitch to put back on, but can I just easily pop this one side out maybe? And then deciding, no, that's not gonna work. Realizing I have to move the washer, and it's the washing machine that is the heavy one. Plus, in my brilliant foresight, I had just started a load of wash. So this washing machine was filling up with water and had a bunch of wet clothes in it at the time, so it was even heavier than usual. So you guys get to see me struggle to move this washing machine over a few inches. Now at this point you can see I'm sliding all around because I'm not wearing shoes. I should have just popped over to the shoe bench, which is 10 feet from me, and just popped some shoes on so that I could get a little bit more purchase in moving that over. But I was able to get it moved over enough where I could shimmy the dryer out here, so I was pretty happy with that. I thought it was going to take me way longer. Thumbs up. Go me. Good job, Sarah. Sorry, that's an inside joke for work folks who don't watch this. Anyway, so here I am hopping back here to see if I can get this cleaned out, and I accidentally turned the knob on the washer and it did not like that. It's like, hey, I'm currently doing a cycle. Don't change the cycle on me right now. So I'm squeezing back here. Luckily, I'm still limber enough to do this. And I realize I should probably unplug the dryer because while I'm mostly going to be cleaning out the hose between the dryer and the wall, I am sticking my hand into the back of the dryer right now to where the lint is in there just to give that a quick little clean out while I'm back there. But here we go. You guys get to see how much lint is back in this thing just because it can't, there's no straight path, so it's stuff can be vented outside and we don't have fires and those sorts of things when using our dryer. And I live in the southeast and it's fairly humid most of the year, so it tends to get stuck and a little bit gross. This was not my most favorite thing on earth to do. The texture was not fantastic, but I'm also tired of paying for the extra electricity to run my dryer. Now you might be wondering, especially if you're my European folks, why I don't just line dry my stuff. And I do that sometimes. If you look back, you saw me take out a couple of drying racks. Those are the only 2 drying racks that I have. I don't have like a clothesline dryer or anything, or clothesline for drying clothes or anything like that. So I just don't have that much space to hang dry clothes. And also with 2 little kids, the electric dryer is just faster, more convenient. Oh, yeah, there's a shelf there, Sarah. But yeah, so we have this. I want to use it, but I don't want to waste the energy running it multiple times because that seems pretty darn silly when I can just clean this out. So 3 months from now, I will probably have to set myself a reminder and to clean out this lint hose, but actually the dryer kind of tells me by not working as well. And also there's a lint catcher that you can regularly, after every time you dry your clothes, you pull out the lint catcher and you get the lint off of that. So I have one that you pull out of the top of the dryer, and it's fairly long. It's at least, I'm going to say maybe like 16 inches long. And usually when the dryer is working really well and efficiently, lint goes about halfway up that. But when this lint hose in the back is starting to get clogged and it's not drawing as well, it really stays in like the bottom 2 inches of the lint catcher. So I know when I'm only cleaning lint off the bottom 2 inches of that lint catcher that there's probably a clog in the back, and that's an indicator to me that I need to go back here and clean this off. Now that I've done it once myself, I have a better idea, so that's great. And this is me being a little bit precious, like trying to get all of the lint in the dustbin, but look at all of that. And you see lots of concentration face in this, which is hilarious to me, but also I have very chapped lips sometimes if I've been concentrating on something for a while. But let's get this bad boy plugged back in. Got to make sure it goes in the right way. It only fits one way. And that's me looking back and getting distracted because I see that there is one of the little hangers that I use for my kids' clothes stuck behind the washing machine. And I'm already back here, so I might as well try to get that thing out with the broom, but it's just, spoiler alert, it's stuck and I don't get it out. And I give up because I have something to do right after this. But that's what I'm trying to do right now. It's just stuck in the corner. Gave it a good old 15-second try, I guess. And here I'm trying to carefully shimmy back the dryer a little bit because when I pulled it out far enough where the hose actually popped off the back of the dryer. So I want to make sure that the hose can reach where I need to reattach it to. And it just has a metal wire. I was going to say a wire of wire. That's stupid. A circle of wire is what I was going to say, with 2 bits that are crossed and sticking up, and you just squeeze those together to make the circle of the wire a little bit bigger, and it just slides right back on there. So it's fairly easy to do, especially if you just have a freestanding dryer like this and you have the space to actually maneuver it out away from the wall easily. So that went on fairly easy. I'm very conscious that I racked my head on that shelf once before. And out we go. There's that nastiness of all that lint again. And it really sucks. I probably should air dry more of my clothes because if you think about it, the lint is just your clothes falling apart from the rigors of being washed and dried in this machinery, right? Because it's way less gentle. And we have delicates bags and stuff, but it's just, I imagine it's also kind of the quality of clothes. We don't buy super expensive clothes. So this is me trying to make sure this gets back in a good spot. What I'm trying to do, since there's not a lot of room, so I'm trying to give the hose as much room as possible to breathe back there. But I also need to be able to shut these bifold doors. So I'm going to try to get the dryer as close to that threshold as I can while still being able to shut the doors. But I'm checking on the hose to make sure I'm not pulled it off or it's not even more squished than it was before. And I'm about to move the washing machine back, but then I notice how much crap there is in between it. And it's just like lint and dust. So I'm just gonna get that swept out real quick. And then try to shimmy this back over while it's running, full of water and clothes. Still have not decided just to go and grab some shoes so I actually have some purchase. There we go. Counter pushing against the wall inside the laundry room helps a little bit. Like, is it easier if I get down lower? No, my whole body just slides when I do that. But I do manage to shimmy it back over again, and the reason I'm moving this back over is because since I do have those two drying racks, one needs to fit between the washing machine and the wall there because I don't have anywhere else to store it. But look, you can see that gap got quite a bit smaller. I'm just checking the threshold there. What am I looking for? Oh yeah, I was just trying to get the other stuff that I just flung out of there into the dustbin. Here's the final result. A complete dustbin full of lint was blocking the back there. And I'm just going to close this up. And I have a couple bathroom rugs in there that didn't get dried, so I'm going to go ahead and one more check on the hose and get that load started again for just not terribly long. But that'll be it for today's video. Thanks for watching me accomplish this thing, and like and subscribe if you like this kind of content. I know it's a bit of a shorter video, but that's what we have for you today, and I will see you the next time. Bye.